analyze or don't really, or they mess up their analysis. So okay, first thing first, I have my zones. I plotted my zones. So I mostly focus on the zones where price is at. The zones that are closer to price. This is a daily time frame. So after plotting my major structures, I make them zones because price doesn't really come to one level only, like one fixed level. It comes to a zone or an area close to a price point. Yeah, so let me just plot in this resistance zones and then other support and resistances, and then you can get it done. Okay, so that's all. That's basically all I do on the day. And maybe look at market structure or if to see if price is creating any highs or any lows or changing direction. So as we can see here at this area around here, price was in a bearish trend. Then price tried to break these highs, creating higher highs, which signify change in market direction. But price couldn't break those highs, and price came back to the downside. And then when it came to the downside, it created a structure of a double bottom. It created a structure of a double bottom here, which signifies a reversals in the market. And if I go to the weekly time frame, you guys will see that this level here where the dollar reversed is actually a, sorry, let me just put this. You guys will see that the place there where the dollar reversed is actually a significant price level in past futures. Like here, the first one would be here, second one would be here. That's why I said if we were to make this a zone, maybe cater for something like this, we would see that this is actually a very strong level in the market, which I was anticipating before price even came there, which I was anticipating for it to change the directions of the sales to back to buyers. So okay, now after price gave us the double bottom, which was a reversal pattern on a support, we now knew that we were heading to the upside, but not sure if we are going to break these highs over here. Price here made equal lows of 1, 2, 3 touches, and then now shot to the upside. So if we dive deeper to the 4-hour is where I actually got my confirmations on what gold was doing. So for you guys who do not know why we are analyzing the dollar index, the reason behind us analyzing the dollar index is because the dollar and gold are opposite correlation pairs. So if the dollar buys, gold will be selling, vice versa. If the dollar is selling, gold will be buying. Sorry about that. It's a little bit cold, so trying to make myself warm. All right, let's get back to business. Now, if we were to take a close look at where current price was at, let's quickly zoom in. If we were to take a close look to where price was at, price here created a low, made it a high. Okay, let me use the other one. Use the arrows. From here, price created a high, which was now a higher high because it broke the previous high. Created a higher low, a higher high, higher low, and then okay, and then a higher high before. Let me just quickly helping the other participants to join. Okay. Before price created that high, we came back, created a low. Sorry about that. Let me just quickly. Here it is. So after creating this high, price came back, created a low, and then a higher high. Now price was here. When price came back here, it actually failed to make a new high, which also led for price breaking the old lows, which can signify that we are in a downtrend, which actually gives us a one confirmation that we might be heading or starting a new trend, because now price broke previous market structure. So now if we look at today's candlesticks, they were pushing bearish to the downside. So when I looked at this setup, it was around somewhere here. It was around somewhere here in the morning. Price was around somewhere here in these areas in the morning. So when I looked, I saw that the way price was creating the structure here, it was giving me something of a reversal pattern. Let me just get my tool to the outside. It was giving me something of a reversal pattern here to the downside, and here that's giving me a reversal pattern on the 4 hour. And then if you look at the previous days, yesterday's candles, the way they closed here, significantly bullish with rejections to the upside to the resistance. So now I was getting a little bit skeptical to say maybe it might be that today we might be actually heading to the downside on the dollar, and then gold will be buying. So when I moved my 1 hour, it all became clear now. Let's just wait. When I moved to the 1 hour, it all became clear. See, on the 1 hour, I spotted this here, this area here, to be a possible head and shoulder. I was looking at it like this. This being my left shoulder, my head, and then my right shoulder, and then maybe price could push to the downside. So now I got confirmation that the dollar is actually going bearish. So for me, saying the dollar is going bearish, that means gold has to be bullish for the day. Okay, not really for the day. We don't know for how long gold might be bullish, but I think it's gonna be for a long time. I think it's gonna go back to the previous highs, because if you can see, the dollar now broke this resistance, this support actually. Sorry about that. This support. So it might be that tomorrow we'll be coming back. Tomorrow we'll be coming back and then pushing to the downside. We'll see, we had a break, so we had a break. Now we'll be waiting for a retest and then be able to push to the downside. So let's see. Yeah, I think that's probably, let's see if price actually broke the uptrend that we had. Let's try and see if we can. Now price actually did break the uptrend that we had. So we might be getting a retest on the supporting trend line or on this resistance here, and then price will be pushing further to the next level. So those are now major levels. They are still the intraday levels, the 4 hour levels and the 1 hour level. So let's head to the gold and see what was the gold doing. Can you guys still hear me, or do you guys understand, or can anyone say something? Because the chat room is actually quiet now. Can you guys hear, or do you guys understand what I'm saying? Okay, I'm getting some feedback here on gold. All right, if you guys understand, then it's okay. Let's move on. The gold chart not yet come back. Come on. So this was my setup on gold. Let me just clean my charts and then. So overall, I'm also looking to take gold till the previous highs, these highs, the highs here, at 2057. I'm looking to test gold on both, probably 2060, maybe 2060. Yeah, the price point. I'm actually looking for those who don't know what I'm talking about. I'm looking here. Okay, so let me start on my weekly. I will start from the weekly or the daily. Actually, one and the same thing. Not really one and the same, but there's a correlation pair. But let me just go. There's a correlation between. Right. Let me just start here. Let me look at. I'm focusing on this uptrend now. So like I normally do, or like I did on the dollar, I would be plotting my. Uh, we'll see what NFP would bring for us. We also we'll see what NFP will bring for us tomorrow. Uh, but I think gold will be pushing up for NFP tomorrow, and the dollar will be dropping. We also had we had a couple of news today, which were also in my favor to say gold was actually buying. So this I plot my major support and resistances here on my daily. So now, okay, let me just also put in my trend. So my major trend, my major trend would be like this. My main trend. This is the main trend on the daily. The main direction of which the market is actually heading to would be like this. So we are currently, you see where price was at in the morning was somewhere here at a support. It is it's at a support of the trend line, the diagonal supporting trend line, and my horizontal line. And you can see price is actually made a one a 1 2 3 touch on the trend line. It was my second touch, and then my third touch. So they say in forex the third touch is always the most important. The third touch is much stronger than the first and the second touch. It confirms the direction to which way the market is heading. So okay, let's dive deeper now to the 4 hour. Okay, before I dive deeper, let me make my horizontal lines zone first. I like to make them zones to see. Okay. Okay, now we are done with that. Let me see what's going on in the chat. No, it's not Jason Noah. I'm Bapewa Kamunguma from Namibia, an FX code student, and I'm working together with FTC to give you guys free and valuable content on Forex and on our PropFirm FTC. Guys, I don't even think I sound like Jason Noah. Yeah, the dollar is losing momentum. Yes. We will also have a look at the fundamentals afterwards. Once we are done, if we have a lot of time, we will have a look at the fundamentals and see what what might come of NFP tomorrow and how today's fundamentals work. So okay, let's dive now to our smaller time frame, which is the H4 time frame. All right. So when we dive, let me just fix this. On the bigger time frame, we had to make it that big, but now we don't really need it that big because we need to use it to trade. So let's just adjust this to be something like this. All right. So now when I move into my 4, I'll also like to plot my inner price points. The one I deem important, the one I see that can actually be future turning points in the market. So mainly, I would say there are those two. They're actually a lot, but I don't want to get my chart all messy and having a lot of lines and a lot of zones because I might confuse or lose some of you people. Okay, the beginners actually. If there are any beginners who don't even understand what's going on. But don't worry, guys. I'll be teaching classes for the beginners because, like, we already had one Zoom session. The recording is on the group, on the Telegram group. So, okay, before I even plot my trend line, my secondary trend line, let me just quickly do something. I would like to let me just quickly switch up here. Okay, first I would like to go to a line chart for me to have a clear view without manipulation on the market. You see, when we go to the line chart, we use the line chart to remove the noise of the market. By noise, I mean the candlestick rejections, the wicks, and then we can have a precise, not actually a precise, but close to a perfect market, because the market doesn't know our trend lines are actually there, but we use them for guidance in our favor to help us push the market or to help us get a direction on the market and where it might be going. Let me just quickly add these people in the waiting room. So, all right, now that I'm done on the line chart, I would like to go back to my candlesticks. Let's go back to my candlestick chart. You see, now when we're on the candlestick chart, we see we have a beautiful secondary trend. So now, first confirmation, helping us to the first confirmation was the one on the dollar index heading bearish. So the second, when I was around, when I came into the market around the morning, price was somewhere around here. So now I could see that gold actually had a breakout retest on my secondary trend. Yes, the Zoom will be posted on the Telegram group. After I'm done, it will be posted right away. Okay, so now let me dive using my construction. So you see price here had a high and then created a lower. We can't say it wasn't a lower low yet because that low was the lowest. Hello, can you please mute your mic? Hello guys, can you please mute your mics? Because someone's mic is here on and we can hear your background. Okay, all right. Thank you. And now price here tried to create a high. You see, it was a retest of that, of the previous support, trying to push price to the upside, but it couldn't. It failed and created a lower high instead. And then when price came, it came here, created equal lows with the previous one, not yet actually giving us a direction. We would say this was a consolidation because here price doesn't have a direction in which it's moving yet. So from here, from here, price. So we basically have like 10 minutes left. Price tried to create a high, which it failed, and then created a lower low. We can now say it's a lower low because it's low than the previous low we had. So now this was the first confirmation to say we're actually in a downtrend. The second, don't get me wrong, guys, there was other confirmations here we could have taken to trade this direction to the downside, because I did actually take moves from here. I took a sell from here and from here also. All right, so when price created the lower low, it came back, created a lower high, and then equal lows. It started consolidating again, and then price gave us that momentum. Now here would be a good opportunity to sell, because we know this was once a strong support here. Now when support is broken, it becomes a resistance, and vice versa. But now we know, okay, support here was broken and price came back for a retest. So now we know that from here we are supposed to be looking for selling opportunities. And if you sell here, you take profit at your next low. Because, or you can, it depends on your trading style. If you are a swinger, maybe you want to hold it, that's up to you. And then from when when price created the lower low, let me just quickly help these people join. When price created the lower high, actually, sorry about that, it came and then gave us another lower low. Came to retest the previous low, which now became a resistance, which was a support there, and then created a double bottom, which is a reversal pattern. Now price got the momentum to break out of this trend, of the downtrend, and then gave us a chance for a retest for us to push. So in FX Gold, we have what we call a 90% rule, where we believe not where we believe, where we have proven that sometimes, okay, most of the times when price breaks a trend, it goes all the way to the beginning of where the trend started. So this is why we call it the 90%. So if you were to take the angle here, and where price has to move, it will be a 90% rule, a 90% angle. So all right, now to the entry on the 1 hour. Now when I was analyzing the market, and then okay, when I was analyzing the market, I found the market somewhere around here, price pushing to the downside. So now I was okay. Now I knew I was gonna get a retest. If I get a retest here, then a candlestick confirmation, I will be going for long. So if you check here, this is another miniature zone where it's also strong, which was once here a resistance, support. So it's confirmation to say that all right, this zone is actually stronger than it looks, or we have high momentum here. See, this is where sellers came in, they took the market to the downside. Buyers did the opposite. At this point, the buyers did the opposite. The other point, the buyers did again the opposite. All right, so when I analyzed the market, it was somewhere around here in the morning. I don't really know where other people, where you guys stay, what time it was, but at my side it was 9 a.m., around 9, 8 a.m. So when I looked at the market on was like, okay, I said to myself, this would be a possible inverse head and shoulder, because that can be my left shoulder. This now becomes my head, and then a possible shoulder here. Then now price can push to the upside, going to the 90%, completing the 90% rule. Right. So I waited. I normally trade. I get my entries on the 1 hour. I like to hold my positions a little bit longer. I'm both a day trader and a swinger. I'm not really a scalper. So okay. So when it came here, if we look at a close look at what price was doing here, I waited for the first candle to close, which was a bearish. This was a strong bearish move towards the support. Price gave me a pin buy or a doji, signaling there are possible rejections here. And then afterwards, around 11, this was now the time of the London session. price came with this impulsive move to the upside, giving us a pattern which we call a Morningstar pattern. I gave this on the group, on the Telegram group. There was I broke down. We'll get your answer a little bit later if we are either buying or selling gold. But we had a Morningstar pattern, and this was my confirmation. This was the confirmation to say, okay, now I have a signal to actually go longs with the gold. So it was where I entered. I entered as soon as that candle closed. My stop loss was below the old lows. It was around here. 1951 was my stop loss. And my overall target is the 90% rule, which will take time, guys. I'm not saying the market will fly there tomorrow. It will take time, but I think it will get there, because if we put the confirmations we have on the DXY, it being selling now, and since we know the DXY and gold have opposite correlations, we would know now that gold is actually looking to take buys. So this was my first entry. My first take profit was here. TP1 was at the next level. TP1 was here at the next level. TP2 was the other level, which that would be hitting in time. You know, the market is not a freeway. It won't just run straight to the upside. We will have some ups and downs. So this now becomes my TP2. And then TP3 and final take profit will be here at the 90% rule, at the highs. This would be my TP3. TP3. Yeah, so that's actually all for gold. But tomorrow there are two possibilities. Okay, but we would actually be taking longs tomorrow again if price can break and retest here around London session. If price can be somewhere above here before NFP, we will be taking longs to push and test the other level before maybe getting another confirmation on Monday and then pushing to the upside. But if we get price below here around NFP or London session, there might be a possibility that price might push back down to these lows over here and then test it to push maybe up again, or come back to this low here to give us a double bottom on the major support here and the diagonal support. Let's see what's going on here. No, I actually went out to trade. I'm not holding it because I'll be looking for more entries again tomorrow. I went out on the trade. That's where psychology comes in, guys. I wanted to actually hold the trade up to here, but I couldn't follow my plan, and I went out a little bit too early, because now I was seeing blues, and I was saying I couldn't give my profits back to the market. So yeah, that, guys, the time is up. We have less than a minute. So thank you guys for the session. That was the breakdown. I think gold will be pushing to the upside again tomorrow. But I'll give you guys updates on how the trade goes, and maybe we can see if we can get some entries or setups on Nasdaq and USD, because I also trade those two indices. So nonetheless, guys, it's a great session. We are out. I'm signing out.